Breaking news, folks, and when I say breaking, I mean literally, chairs, glasses, and possibly the last scraps of dignity left in Atlanta's reality TV scene. Picture this, a private sit-down between Love and Hip Hop's Bambi and Erica Dixon that was supposed to be all about grown woman conversations, but instead, it went full WWE cage match without the cage. And yes, cameras might not have been officially rolling, but the mics, oh, honey, they were hotter than Bambi's red power suit on court day. Now tell me, how does a conversation about clearing the air turn into a viral hashtag storm? Legal threats, and conspiracy theories about producers pulling puppet strings. Coincidence? Please. In this world, coincidence is just code for they planned it, we fell for it, and now it's a spin-off. And wait until you hear about the assistant in the corner, the one who supposedly forgot to turn their mic off while FaceTiming Tasha K. Yeah, that part. So buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into betrayal, backroom deals, and the kind of clapbacks that can be heard all the way from Atlanta to Instagram Live. And trust me, this one is juicier than Scrappy's prenup folder. Let's start by setting the scene, because nothing in the Love and Hip Hop universe just happens out of the blue, and anyone who believes otherwise probably still thinks producers hand out tissues because they care. We are talking about Bambi, the towering queen of poker face shade, who can walk into a room and make the air temperature drop 10 degrees without saying a word. And on the other side we have Erica Dixon, the original Love and Hip Hop alumni, who has perfected the art of smiling sweetly while simultaneously twisting the knife. These two have history, not the sweet nostalgic kind, but the messy public kind that lives rent-free on blogs and reunion clips. Years of overlapping love interests, mutual accusations, subtweets disguised as self-love posts, and that one little detail that always keeps the pot boiling. Both of them were tied to the same man, Lil Scrappy, who has a habit of creating more drama in 1 week than most people do in a lifetime. Over the seasons, the tension built in slow, satisfying layers. Like VH1 was marinating us for this exact moment, and the Atlanta lounge meeting was just the oven finally being turned on. Now here is where it starts to smell fishy, because according to multiple very reliable sources, and by reliable I mean someone who claims their cousin's best friend once did a photo shoot for a producer's dog, the meeting was never meant to be casual. Erica allegedly believed she was simply showing up for a quick production meeting to finalize some pickup shots. Nothing major, no cameras rolling, just a polite chat. Meanwhile, Bambi had been given a completely different reason. A heart-to-heart to clear the air and perhaps finally put their differences to rest. Adorable, right? As if VH1 suddenly started offering conflict resolution retreats instead of reunion specials. What is even more interesting is that mere hours before both women stepped into that lounge, group chats between production members were already heating up with cryptic lines like if we get them in the same room, they will handle the rest. And everyone in reality TV knows that is code for, if they swing we win. So the stage was set. Bambi walked in first, dressed in all black, hair pulled back so tight it could cut glass. No smile, no small talk, and positioned herself dead center, in the VIP section like she was holding court. Erica followed minutes later, pastel dress, soft curls, lip gloss catching the light, giving pure unbothered energy, the kind of entrance that says I am here to win whatever this is. They did not exchange pleasantries because what would be the point? The air was already too heavy with months of mutual side-eyes. Bambi leaned in first, voice low and sharp, accusing Erica of knowing far more than she claimed about Scrappy's side dealings. But Erica came right back. Steady voice, accusing Bambi of blaming the wrong person for her failed marriage. The exchange was sharp, quick, surgical in its precision. Each insult aimed to cut just deep enough to draw blood but still leave room for the next. And then Bambi, as if pulling a rabbit out of a hat, produced her phone and played an audio clip of Scrappy himself laughing about how the cameras loved it when Bambi was falling apart. Erica's smile faltered for just a second before she reached for her own phone and produced her own audio clip. This time Bambi's voice mocking Erica for believing her relationship was genuine. At that point it was no longer a conversation, it was a duel. Each woman armed with receipts they had clearly been saving for the perfect public humiliation moment. What neither of them realized was that their private war was not staying private, because in the corner of the room, an assistant who was supposed to be part of the production crew had their phone on speaker with a live mic to none other than Tasha K, who was streaming every word to her Patreon subscribers in real time. The women kept going, words hitting harder, posture shifting. the table between them feeling less like a barrier and more like a countdown clock. Erica called Bambi a prop in her own marriage. Bambi called Erica the biggest scam in life. The assistant sent a text saying it was about to happen, and moments later the inevitable spark caught fire. Bambi stood, hands planted on the table, leaning in close enough for Erica to smell her perfume, and dared her to say her name one more time. Erica did not hesitate. She said bam like it was a dare, and that was all it took for patience to snap. Chairs scraped, water glasses rattled. Security had not even entered the frame yet when Bambi's hand found a fistful of Erica's hair and yanked. Erica shouted, grabbing at Bambi's wrists, and the two crashed against the table, sending one of the glasses to the floor where it shattered. The assistant's phone jolted in their grip, sending shaky live footage out into the internet abyss. Erica shoved hard, breaking free, but Bambi was already moving again, pinning her against the wall so hard a picture frame rattled. The comments in Tasha K's live were pure chaos, half demanding security let them fight and the other half screaming call security, in all caps. Right on cue, the door flew open. 2 security guards rushed in, grabbing Bambi by the arms as she shouted over their shoulders for Erica to tell the truth about her role in everything. Erica, hair a little out of place but still managing to stand tall, told her she was mad at the wrong person and should not take her losses out on her. Security pulled Bambi toward the door, her heels scraping against the floor, as she shouted that it was not over. Erica, voice steady now but with fire in her eyes, told her this was just the start. And that line landed like a match in a room full of gasoline. The assistant had already saved the clip to a private folder and sent it to Tasha K, who wasted no time teasing it to her members-only audience with the promise of an unfiltered drop. Within hours, group chats, gossip blogs, and closed DMs were circulating the fight in 30-second bursts of chaos. Chairs clattering, voices sharp as sirens. The hashtags began climbing as VH1 executives locked themselves in a conference room, watching the scene on loop, debating whether to cut it from the season to avoid legal trouble or lean into the ratings gold they knew it would become. By the time the sun came up the next morning, the fight had already grown a life of its own online with new details popping up every hour. Some of them true, most of them pure fiction, but all of them adding fuel to a fire that no one seemed eager to put out. The grainy clip from the assistant's phone had been ripped from Tasha K's members-only page within minutes, and was now bouncing across every corner of Twitter, TikTok, and even Facebook, where your aunt, who still believes chain messages will bring her luck, was weighing in like she had been there in person. But what really sent the situation spiraling was the so-called leaked production memo that appeared on a gossip blog at exactly 8:13 a.m. The memo, stamped confidential in bold, red letters, claimed that producers had intentionally scheduled Bambi and Erica's meetings just minutes apart, knowing the two women had unresolved issues, and even provided a seating chart with arrows showing how security should position themselves to block camera angles if things got physical too early. One line in particular sent fans into a frenzy, reading if tension escalates, allow verbal exchange for no less than 3 minutes before intervening, which sounded less like safety protocol and more like a director setting up the perfect pay-per-view fight. By midday, the memo was being dissected on YouTube by self-proclaimed reality TV insiders, one of whom swore he recognized the handwriting in the margin as belonging to a producer fired from a different VH1 show for exactly this kind of manufactured chaos. Meanwhile, Erica broke her silence with an Instagram story that was only 3 words long, simply saying receipts don't lie over a black background. While Bambi went live in her kitchen making coffee like nothing had happened, ignoring every comment asking about the fight and only pausing to casually mention that people need to stop acting brand new when the truth finally comes out. That one comment was enough for blogs to run headlines like Bambi promises more shocking revelations, while Erica's camp started hinting to TMZ that a formal complaint might be coming. The public was eating it up, hashtags climbing faster than anyone could keep track, with think pieces popping up debating whether reality TV had gone too far or if this was exactly what people signed up for. But behind the scenes things were even messier because, according to one anonymous crew member, the network had already received a letter from Erica's lawyer warning against airing the footage without her approval, citing emotional distress and breach of contract, a claim that sent the legal team into overdrive. Then came the twist that no one saw coming. A new audio clip surfaced on a gossip podcast, allegedly recorded 2 weeks before the lounge meeting, where a voice sounding a lot like Bambi could be heard laughing about how she would drag Erica on camera if given the chance. The clip was muffled, filled with background noise, and could have been anyone. But that didn't matter to the court of public opinion, which immediately declared it proof of premeditation. Bambi's followers defended her, saying the audio was obviously fake, spliced together from old reunion episodes. While Erika's supporters insisted it was authentic and proof that she had been set up. Somewhere in the middle of all this, Scrappy decided to post a cryptic meme of a man eating popcorn with the caption, "When it ain't your drama but you still gotta watch," which managed to irritate both sides and only deepen the conspiracy theories about his role in the whole mess. Several blogs claimed to have exclusive text messages between Scrappy and producers from the week before the fight. Messages that hinted at him encouraging the sit-down as a way to clear the air for storyline purposes. Though no one could confirm if the screenshots were real. On top of that, a second so-called leak dropped late that night. This time, a blurry photo showing what appeared to be Bambi leaving a downtown Atlanta office building with a man some claimed was a private investigator. The theory swirling around this was that she was gathering her own evidence against Erika and possibly even the network, preparing for a legal counterattack if things escalated. Every hour seemed to bring a new layer of tension, and with each layer came new players claiming insider knowledge. A former VH1 stylist popped up on a Twitter space, claiming the two women had nearly fought in the makeup room weeks earlier, but producers had cut the footage to save it for the big confrontation, while an Atlanta club promoter claimed that both had been paid appearance fees to attend the lounge under the pretense of promoting a local charity event. Then there was the mysterious account on Instagram calling itself Truth Drop ATL that started posting cryptic photos. One of a broken wine glass on the lounge floor with the caption "More than one person bleeding," and another of a screenshot showing a $7,500 payment from what appeared to be a production company to a freelance cameraman dated the day after the fight. The speculation machine was unstoppable, and the lines between fact and fiction had completely blurred. Fans were picking apart Erika's old interviews, slowing down clips to catch micro-expressions, while others were deep diving into Bambi's past social media posts looking for any sign she had been plotting this for months. Meanwhile, both women were playing a delicate game, giving just enough to keep the public invested without revealing their full hand, which only made people more desperate for the next update. Behind closed doors, network executives were reportedly divided, some pushing to lean into the drama for ratings, others warning that the legal risks were too high, especially with Erika's lawyer hinting at a lawsuit and rumors that Bambi was consulting her own legal team. At one point, a so-called leaked email suggested that a major advertiser was threatening to pull out if the fight aired uncensored, adding yet another layer of high-stakes negotiation to the mess. Still, no one could deny that public interest was through the roof, with YouTube reaction channels clocking millions of views breaking down every possible angle. From body language analysis to deepfake detection on the audio clips, even celebrities started chiming in. With Cardi B tweeting that reality TV been messy but this on another level, and K. Michelle posting a shady Instagram reel about karma always coming back. Through it all, the central question remained unanswered. Who had really orchestrated the meeting, and how much of what we saw was real versus scripted chaos? Every new detail only deepened the mystery, and by now the fight had become less about what actually happened in that lounge and more about the tangled web of motives, alliances, and grudges that had been years in the making. A storyline so layered it could have been a season all on its own. Except this time there was no confessional room to control the narrative, just raw, unfiltered drama spilling out into the world with no sign of stopping. The morning after the second wave of leaks, the atmosphere in Atlanta felt thick with tension, as if the entire city was holding its breath waiting to see which bombshell would drop next, and the gossip blogs were treating it like election night coverage, refreshing their pages every minute for new developments. A fresh twist came from a so-called insider who claimed that the lounge's security footage had already been sold under the table to a streaming platform for an undisclosed amount, and that it showed far more than the shaky cell phone videos making the rounds, including moments when producers could be seen whispering to both Bambi and Erika moments before the argument erupted. This unverified claim sparked a frenzy with fans, speculating that the network itself might be scrambling to buy back the footage before it could go public and damage their brand beyond repair. Meanwhile, an anonymous tip landed in the inbox of a major gossip channel containing a set of pixelated screenshots, allegedly taken from the security feed, and if you squinted hard enough you could make out what looked like a man in a dark hoodie standing in the shadows near the back wall during the confrontation, a man no one recognized from the cast or crew. This instantly spawned a whole new conspiracy thread that perhaps an outsider had been planted to escalate things, and some even linked him to past altercations in other Atlanta night spots as if this was his full-time gig. While the internet tried to unravel that mystery, Bambi's Instagram suddenly went private, sending shockwaves through her followers, who interpreted it as a sign that something major was coming, either a legal move or a tell-all drop. And within hours, Erica posted a close-up selfie with the caption, "I see everything," which her fans took as a direct shot back. In the midst of all this, a verified journalist, known for breaking entertainment scandals, tweeted that multiple cast members were quietly meeting with their lawyers to discuss potential collective action against the network, citing unsafe working conditions and intentional provocation for ratings. And while no names were dropped, everyone assumed Bambi and Erica were at the center of it. Adding to the chaos, a local Atlanta morning radio show aired an interview with an anonymous caller claiming to be a former assistant to one of the producers, who said the so-called sit-down had been pitched internally as Operation Volcano, with the express goal of reigniting dormant feuds to boost mid-season ratings. According to the caller, not only had they planned the lounge meeting, but they had also set up to other confrontations that were still waiting to be filmed, suggesting this fight was only the beginning. The audience was hooked. Every blog post and reaction video only deepened the narrative until people were drawing literal maps of alliances, betrayals, and motives like it was a crime drama. And just when it seemed the drama had reached its peak, a fresh leak hit the internet in the form of a 3-minute voice memo allegedly from one of the makeup artists describing the scene after the cameras were cut, painting a picture of shattered glass on the floor, producers shouting into walkie-talkies, and Erica pacing back and forth, muttering that she knew this was going to happen, while Bambi was escorted to a separate exit, still yelling that the truth would come out. Whether or not the memo was real didn't matter, because it was convincing enough to be believed, and in this storm, perception was reality. Even more bizarre was the sudden appearance of a GoFundMe page claiming to raise money for legal fees for an unnamed reality star believed to be Erica, though she never confirmed it. But that didn't stop people from donating thousands within the first few hours, fueling speculation that she was gearing up for a major lawsuit. Meanwhile, Bambi was spotted at a high-end boutique with a well-known Atlanta attorney, prompting TMZ to run a headline about both women lawyering up, which sent fans into a meltdown about who would strike first. The network tried to stay silent, but pressure mounted when a former cast member went live accusing them of exploiting women of color for profit and hinting that she had her own archive of behind-the-scenes footage that could blow the whole thing wide open. At this point, it wasn't just a fight between two women, it had become a cultural flashpoint about the ethics of reality television, workplace safety, and the blurry line between entertainment and exploitation. Every hour brought a new spin, some claiming this was all an elaborate PR stunt, others insisting it had spiraled far beyond anyone's control. Even mainstream outlets began covering it, framing it as a case study in how social media can amplify chaos to the point where the truth becomes irrelevant. As if to confirm that notion, a fake press release started circulating online claiming that the network had suspended production indefinitely, which turned out to be false, but not before several blogs ran it as fact. And in perhaps the most surreal twist yet, a celebrity psychic offered her services on Instagram, claiming she had visions of the real mastermind behind the fight and would reveal it during a paid live stream. Thousands tuned in only to hear vague hints about betrayal from someone close and a warning that more chaos was on the horizon. Despite the absurdity of it all, people stayed glued to their screens, because at this point the Bambi versus Erica saga wasn't just a scandal, it was a serialized drama unfolding in real time, with the audience as both spectators and participants. The stakes felt higher, with whispers of lawsuits, network shakeups, and personal reputations on the line, and yet the entertainment factor was undeniable. Every tweet, every livestream, every blurry screenshot felt like another plot twist in a show no one wanted to end. The biggest question hanging over everyone's head was whether the uncut footage would ever see the light of day. And if it did, whether it would confirm anyone's version of events or simply raise more questions. Until then, the public remained suspended in a state of collective obsession, dissecting every move, every post, every silence, as if decoding a mystery that might never have a definitive answer. So here we are with a story that started as a quiet sit-down and erupted into one of the most talked about showdowns in reality TV history, leaving everyone wondering who's playing who and how deep this rabbit hole really goes. You've seen the receipts, you've heard the whispers, you've watched the chaos unfold in real time, and now the question is, what do you believe? And more importantly, whose side are you really on? Is Bambi the victim of a network hungry for drama, Or is Erica the one who's been quietly pulling strings behind the scenes, or maybe, just maybe, they're both pawns in a game bigger than either of them? The only way to keep this conversation alive is if you join in, so drop your theories in the comments, call out the inconsistencies you've spotted. And don't hold back, because this is the internet and the loudest voices get heard first. Smash that like button if you want the uncut truth, hit subscribe so you're first in line when the next bombshell drops, and share this with someone who thinks they've already figured it out, because trust me, they haven't even scratched the surface yet.